We know you. You want the best home insurance at the best rate, and you want it to be easy. That's why Handsome wants you to know about Allstate. Switching to Allstate is fast, simple, and could save you money.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Handsome, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod. Chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod.
Cheers.
Welcome to another episode of the Handsome Podcast. To our 50th episode. I'm one of your hosts, Mae Martin. I'm joined, of course, by
Fortune Feimster.
And Tig Notaro.
That was like a game of chicken. Like,
It always is.
It always
50
is.
episodes.
I know.
Holy.
Wow.
That's a lot.
I thought we weren't going to last past April.
You know what happens when something turns 50?
What?
It's over the hill.
That's over the hill, but you have to say the infamous Molly Shannon character,
I knew
Sally
you-
O'Malley.
I knew you were going to do that.
I'm 50 years old, and I like to kick and stretch and kick because I'm 50.
I will tell you guys, just yesterday, the Molly Shannon herself just liked my video of Handsome Podcast on my Instagram.
You know what that means?
We got to ask her for a question.
That's right. If anyone likes our any video,
She lives in my neighborhood.
well, go knock on her door.
Well,
Take
I
your
will
camera.
absolutely. No, it's so she rides around on her little bike, and
I've seen her ride around on that bike.
yeah, she's the
cool.
best.
She's
Yeah.
cool as hell, yeah.
I love her. Iconic characters.
What are some of your favorite memories from our podcast, guys?
You're gonna make me cry.
Looking back on we're almost at our year anniversary as well.
What are we gonna do for our anniversary?
Oh boy.
Should we do a thruple French kiss?
Yes. Or
We
should
should. Well, actually, our live show was like right around our year anniversary,
Oh, okay.
Should
so
I
we could do something that night.
get an officiant to come to the live show and we renew our vows as co-hosts?
As a pod.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that would be so fun. I'm actually. Are you an officiant? Either of you? I am. So I could host I could officiate our whatever ceremony.
Ourselves?
Yeah,
Oh
ourselves.
my God.
Do you, Tig, Mae
Vowed
and Fortune?
to
Yeah.
love and support, to honor and obey.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna officiate our renewing the vows. I don't think we ever did a vow.
Yeah, we never did
never
a vow,
did a
which
vow.
was a huge mistake on our
Huge mistake because
We
we
never had
almost
a
didn't make
blood
it
oath.
past April.
Yeah, huge
Wow,
oversight.
50, and today's a special one.
Oh man, is it ever?
I mean, we won't
We won't
spoil the beans just yet.
I know everybody sees the name before they click on
We know
it.
you
But
guys know, but we're gonna pretend like you don't know.
yeah, it's like a shared sort of delusion.
There might be like people that don't really understand electronics that don't read things, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I was in line next to this elderly couple yesterday, and the woman was talking. No, whatever. One of them was saying, sometimes on my phone, my text messages come through blue, and then sometimes they come through. Oh, it was the man.
Green.
He said, and sometimes they come through green. And she said, yeah. She said, I think that is from how much sunlight is out, because I've noticed
No,
yes, at night that my text messages are green. So I think, and it was so fun to eavesdrop on this.
that's so good. My parents, they don't have a car anymore. They don't, but when they go on vacation, they rent a car. So they just went to Antigua and they had rented a car, and they're telling me this story. They're like, on the first day, we were told it was a 15-minute drive to the beach, and we got in the car and we got lost, and we drove for an hour and 45 minutes. And the whole time the car was saying stuff to us. It was talking to us. And finally, I looked at your father and I said, James, listen to what the car is saying. And we realized the car was saying, turn left. It was giving us instructions. And then they started and they were like, and wouldn't you know, we found it in 15 minutes.
Oh my God, hilarious.
But at first they were just like, shut up to the car.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine how lost I'm going to be in a matter of 5 years. I mean, truly, like with electronics. And I always think about this woman that I was at the airport on a layover, and she was in a wheelchair, and somebody who worked at the airport, she had them, I saw the whole thing go down. She was pointing to like the coffee bean and tea leaf at the airport.
Yeah.
And that happened to be where I was going to get a coffee. And he pulls her up to the counter. Oh my God, it was the cutest, saddest thing I'd ever seen in my life. She goes up to the counter and she says, yes, one ice cream cone, please. And the coffee bean and tea leaf. And the person behind the counter was just like, yeah, we just have coffee. And you could tell she was just still living from like old timey days, that you just go up to a counter and order an ice cream cone.
Give her an ice cream.
Yes, make one appear, please, because
Please.
this is the cutest, saddest thing in the world.
Aw.
And then she got rolled away without an ice cream cone.
I feel like I'm in that world right now. I surprised my mom and flew home for a little less than 2 days because she had knee surgery. And
Ginger.
I surprised her. I didn't tell her I was coming. I was like, because where's she going? She's,
Yeah.
in her house all holed up. And so I surprised her, and then I took her for milkshakes, and she's like, are you going to be embarrassed if I take my walker? I'm like, no, whatever. You had knee surgery, whatever. And so she's scooting around the milkshake place, and she was going to get a table, and a lady like raced her to the table.
What?
And took the table, and I'm like, my mom's in a literal walker.
Oh my God.
How old was this other person?
She was older, but not like my mom. She was maybe about 10
Like
years
my
younger.
age?
She was like maybe 65 or something.
I would
Okay.
see red if
Oh, my mom was like, I hope you're proud of yourself. I was like,
She
oh
said
my
that?
God.
She said that to the woman?
Yeah.
And what did the woman say?
I think she was like, I didn't realize you were going to this table. My mom was like,
Bullshit.
I told everyone I was headed to that table.
I told everyone.
I announced it to the room that I was headed to that table.
Well, it's a fun thing to say if somebody cuts you off or does something like that, and they're older than you. It's fun to just say, go on, age before beauty.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That is a good one.
What did we say we call these tigbits, right? They're
Tigbit.
Yeah,
Tiggle
that's-
bitties.
yeah.
Oh, no, go ahead. Age before beauty.
I love that. I love that.
Then I drove my mom, my father, and my stepmother to watch some fireworks, and I parked the car, and I sat there in the car listening to them all talk like I was in the movie Cocoon.
Oh my
and
God.
just watching fireworks.
And so I love that you didn't get out of the car. You just sat in the car and watched.
Because my mom can't really walk right now, so
Right.
I was like, I'll just drive us there and we'll roll the windows down and watch. And she loved it.
Really?
But my mom is like that regardless of knee situations. Like, we've gone to other countries to visit, and she likes to get on the hop on, hop off bus.
I love those. Haven't I told you that?
No.
Oh,
She
go
likes
on.
to hop on, but she doesn't want to hop off.
Mhm. Same.
She wants the bus to take her around the whole city. And then she goes, I've seen it all.
So she's not actually getting
Beautiful city.
She's not doing any of the attractions or anything.
No, she does not want it.
That's really
Oh my
funny.
God.
She wants to ride by it.
I did it as a joke years ago in Dublin. I was like, I'm going to get on the hop on and hop off, like a joke to myself. I was completely alone on tour. And I was like, this is hilarious. I'm going to go on a hop on, hop off bus and just have like a weird day
Yeah.
and then have some stories to tell. And then I did it, and I was like, "This is actually awesome," because you
I
can.
love them too.
Oh my God! You can plug in your headphones, and you can listen and learn about the city, or you can just unplug it and just like have just a quiet day with the. It's the double-decker bus, and there's no roof on there, and you can just check out the scenery.
Yeah.
I do it now when I
when you go to
travel.
a city.
Well, when I travel overseas, that's when I usually do it. And I just did it in Rome when I was there for the Vatican. And that was like I had a day off, and I was like, I'm just going to go ride around, and it's a few hours. And so.
I mean, did we talk about the Vatican? Like you dropped it in. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. We have not talked about the Vatican.
Oh, I thought we had.
No, I don't know if we even said on the pod that you went to the Vatican with a bunch of comedians and you met himself.
Yes, the Holy Father.
Yes.
Well, we thought there were 10 American comedians that went, and we thought we were the only ones. And then Stephen Colbert told me before we went, he was like, I thought we were the only 10. He was like, and that's classic American of me. He was like, but there's 100 comedians from around the world that have been invited. And he said, and there's only 10 Americans. And he said, Stephen Merchant had come on his show and was like, hey, I heard you're going to the Vatican. And Stephen was like, you're going?
Oh, my God.
And he was like, that's when I realized that, of course, Americans think we're the only ones.
But also
you mean there's 90 other comedians?
Well, that was the other hilarious thing. I think there were like 40 Italian comedians.
Whoa, really?
I know. Had no clue. But it was just an interesting experience because, I mean, I was raised Catholic. I certainly am not a practicing Catholic. And I was not raised in a house where anybody was really talking about God. Anyway, there are people in my life that are Catholic and are very Catholic, and that I'm still very close to. And there was a part of me interested in going, just because they're like they're my first girlfriend's parents, and I'm still very close. Like my family, Stephanie and our kids, we go see them. In Ohio.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's wild.
Yeah, really wild.
I don't know if I could convince Jack to do that.
I'm very thankful that. Well, Stephanie is a firm believer that if you dated somebody, that means you had a real connection with them, and if you've moved on romantically, then you should. Why would you cut off a connection if you really are friends with them and there's nothing else going on? And so I feel very grateful that she feels that way because these people are in their 80s and they're like parents to me. They're just the greatest people, and obviously just very religious and conservative, obviously in ways, but also open in ways. And I think that they've been a huge part of this complication and struggle in life of trying to bridge the gap of extreme differences in the world and really seeing how when you do stick your heels in on one side, whatever the argument or whatever your political beliefs or religious beliefs, you really divide yourself. And it's not that I was going to the Vatican because I believe and am open to becoming a Catholic follower.
That wasn't the expectation, right?
No,
it was like
not at all.
Like a symposium on humor.
The Pope was speaking. He has audiences where
he was trying to type 5.
Right. No, but he speaks about different topics, and this was about humor and the importance of comedy and how it changes people's minds and all sorts of things. And I wanted to have the experience. I certainly know about the negative side of religion and Catholicism. And
did you find that you were starstruck in a way that you weren't expecting to be?
Absolutely
all.
not.
You're
No.
just-
Oh my God. Absolutely
Can't
not.
impress this gal.
What would you do if you could freeze time? Listen to Handsome? While we haven't figured out how to give you extra hours in the day, today's sponsor, Thrive Market, can definitely save you time shopping for groceries.
Thrive Market is my go-to for all of my grocery and household essentials. Everything from Sprague organic soups to Aloha bars to Califia Farms and almond milk delivered right to my doorstep. Not only do I save time shopping as a Thrive Market member, I also save money on every single grocery order. On average, I save over 30% each time. When you join Thrive Market, you are also helping a family in need with their 1-for-1 membership matching program. You join, they give.
Save time and money and shop Thrive Market today. Go to thrivemarket.com/handsome for 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/handsome. thrivemarket.com/handsome. Being a homeowner and being busy go hand in hand. Finding the best home insurance can feel very daunting, but Allstate can help. Switching to Allstate is fast and easy, so don't wait. Go with the provider that can save you time and money.
Check Allstate first, and you can save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary. I got a rosary that was blessed by him to give to my ex's parents because I knew that would mean so much to them.
Oh, that's nice.
But my point of bringing them up also is that there's so much that I don't acknowledge, and plenty of people will disagree with me, but there's things I don't acknowledge. There's things that they don't acknowledge within our relationship and love for each other.
Right.
And I have no regrets around that. I adore these people.
Yeah,
And,
I'm of that mindset too. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing I can say walking into an 83-year-old's house
Right.
and change their mind about abortion or anything like that. And they're not going to change my mind. And we just meet in a loving place. And anyway, but no, I didn't feel starstruck when I met the Pope. I just, it was more a fun experience being there with so many comedians that I respect and think are some of the funniest people alive, and having meals together and touring the Vatican. And one of the things the Pope did say was to not shy away from making fun of religion or him or whatever. And in the very end of what he said was, and jokingly, he said, "Pray for me, not against me." But he has been one of the more progressive popes. There's plenty of things that haven't changed, and likely won't change.
They were making a documentary, right? About you guys going there.
Well, yeah, when I thought it was just the 10 of us, I had reached out to Stephen and I was like, hey, this feels like a documentary, 10 comedians walking to the Vatican. And, but we didn't know there were 100. So, but yeah, we did film, our trip there. And, I don't know how the process is going with editing. I had reached out to Stephen the other day and he said that he's still waiting to see any footage, because his production company is who took on the role of actually, well, I had a friend in Rome who's a producer and she helped organize the crew and work with his company. And so I don't know what's going to come of it, but I just really had a fun trip with some really funny people. It was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Conan, Chris Rock,
my God.
Stephen Colbert.
I have a question.
Gaffigan, Mike Birbiglia.
How many times did somebody keeps going?
Yeah.
How many times did somebody say "when in Rome"?
Not once.
Okay. And that's why
a real missed opportunity.
Yeah.
It's funny because like Whoopi is, was such a huge live performer back in the day, but it's weird to not see that side of her anymore.
Well, and what was also interesting was Whoopi was raised, I think, partially Catholic, and she's very interested and drawn to the Catholic Church. This was her second time in the past year to go visit the Vatican.
I'm interested in from a historical.
David Sedaris was there. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm interested from a historical perspective as well, like just the Vatican itself and the art and the history of where they acquired all these riches and like this sort of shady, but just the rich history. Also, that great sequence in Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. I think it was Ghost Protocol. Where Tom infiltrates the Vatican.
Oh,
classic Tom, huh?
Classic Tom.
Classic Tom.
He's always infiltrating.
Anyway, that was. There's obviously more to say, especially all the different little interesting details that I got in there. But I also want to acknowledge my visit to the Vatican isn't.
An endorsement.
It's not an endorsement, and I'm very aware of the abuse that's gone on and the every aspect of everything. I'm well aware. Obviously, I'm not aware of everything, but
well, religion in general is so complicated, especially. I mean, just the Catholicism goes back so far, so it's wars have happened over religion and. Obviously it's a complicated thing for our community.
Continues.
For our own different reasons.
I can't believe this is our 50th episode and we're finally tackling religion. We're taking on Catholicism.
It did make me think about the Da Vinci Code, which ties in.
And our questioner today is God.
Our questioner today is actually a religious person.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He and his wife are very religious.
I mean, I grew up, because she's Greek, so the Greek church, maybe, I wonder if Frida's part of the Greek Orthodox, yeah. I grew up going to church every Sunday. It was such a part of my childhood, and when I come home, there's a church in every corner. My mom's so proud that the church that we came up in, the United Methodists, they finally voted to accept gay people in the church roles and whatnot. So she's a very pumped about telling people about being a United Methodist.
Nice.
So I for as complicated as it is, I'm like you, Tig. I know I learned so much about the Christianity and the Bible and all these things that I don't go to church now, and I'm like, I have all this knowledge of this world that I'm not a part of much anymore.
I had to get into religion on my own because my parents are such staunch atheists, and then in my adulthood I got really into mythology and comparative religion and Joseph Campbell and stuff, and thinking more from like a storytelling perspective, how have all these cultures across different parts of the world found these sort of archetypal stories that resonate with us still, and morality and stuff. So I'm interested in that sense. Like, it's this iconographic storehouse that we can use to express ourselves on Earth or something. I don't know.
Wow, there's some May facts for you.
I don't know.
Whew. I just thought you were going to start talking about unicorns.
Why not?
Unicorns?
I saw unicorns in the Vatican.
You did?
They have one?
An inflatable.
It's a sacred animal.
Yes.
How come all kids are obsessed with unicorns, it seems like? And they never really appealed to me.
They're magical.
The horse with the horn, you know?
I never got into unicorns.
You're
either.
not into unicorns? That's actually pretty surprising.
2 against 1. Wait, you think I would be?
No, I would think May would be.
I was like, that's weird.
Because May's always talking about fanciful things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm pretty. I get jazzed about a minotaur or like a fawn or what's it called, but not a unicorn.
Not a unicorn. Wow.
What about? Did you ever get into those horse costumes that we talked about?
We still have to do that. The three of us in a horse costume.
Oh no, I don't want to be the. What? I don't know which part is worse.
I'll be the butt.
I want to be the
I
one that
guess
gets to
that's what we were
stand
waiting
up. I don't want to bend over the whole time.
I don't think my back and neck, I had surgery, and so it's
Yeah.
real sensitive. I don't know if I could get in that position.
I'm not flexible.
What about like the Trojan horse, where we all get inside its belly and somebody wheels us into the comedy venue and then we burst out? And
I'd be into
wheeled.
wheeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
wheeled.
You wheel me all day long.
Or we could have you just be the horse, and Fortune and I could ride you.
I could. No,
All right. Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. I think I
Sounds
could do that.
handsome.
I've been.
That's a
pumping-
handsome horse.
Oh yeah, they do say that. Yeah, and handsome the word handsome. I've said this before. It comes from the way you measure horses. How many hands is it? And it's a handsome horse.
Okay. We'll have to believe
Some
you.
of hands. Have you said that before? Maybe early on.
I think in the early episode, first or second episode, Mae did.
we need
let
to
us know.
bring these things back. Like we haven't said pineapple apart in a while.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
These things just dissolve into the ether. Like, I feel like at some point we said we were going to make a handsome, laundry pods, handsome laundry detergent pods.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't one
Did
of our
we?
best. I don't know.
Although I did see someone riding on an airplane. They tagged us and they had the middle seat was empty and they said they were sitting a pineapple apart.
Yeah. I saw that too. I liked that.
That's what made me think about some of these things we haven't said in so long. 50 episodes. How do you keep up?
Yeah, and we in the beginning we were very on top of it with the merch, with phrases that people liked. I feel like we don't even know what we're saying anymore. So if we have said anything that you like,
You guys pointed out.
let us know, and we'll.
The captain and the cabin boy want to know.
I
if we've
know.
said anything.
I know we've talked about this before, but it's so true when people are like, oh my gosh, you said this thing, or oh, I just listened to the episode and it was cracking me up. And they think that we have even the slightest clue what they're talking about. Have no idea what we've said any episode or when we recorded that.
I think it's because all of our episodes are stream of conscious. Is that how you say
They are
Yeah.
stream of conscious.
So
yeah.
we're not coming in with a list of things.
We have no idea
I
what
don't
we're
even.
saying.
Truth be told, if I didn't get the question, I don't know what the question is that's coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't even look at that.
So I'm even
think-
answering the question without
I
my
would say-
ponties on.
in the early Fortune.
Fortune Marie.
I think in the early days when I was desperate to impress you guys, maybe I was doing a little more prep. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I hope they like me, and my value comes in fact form. And and then now I'm trying to be a little more present, a little more in the moment. But
You
if
can
people
still bring some of those. We're very impressed, by the way. You don't have to prep for that. But if
thanks.
you want to occasionally have a May fact in your pocket, I mean,
Yeah, because I'm for sure not going to prep.
okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start prepping hard.
That's on your horse shoulders.
What if I script everything I'm gonna say and it doesn't change,
and we
no
just
matter
see
what
you
you
checking
say.
off a list.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, we talked about that.
Okay, we talked about
this.
alligator teeth. Okay.
Yeah.
But it is why sometimes we are all over the place. It is because this none of this is planned.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna start planning.
That's how
my
we go
bits.
from church and religion
To alligator teeth.
Yeah. You guys being so loose and fun, and then it gets to me, and you're like, May, do you have anything to say? Well, in 1835, there was
Wait, what was in 1835?
Yeah. Do you have a fact?
okay, what was going on in 1835?
Well,
what
that
What do you guys think? Victorian?
was that leading up to the Civil War?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Was it?
Oh,
I feel like
no.
I feel like the Civil War was in the 1860s.
The Civil War was 1861 through 65.
Okay.
I did not just Google that.
Did you Google
So-
it?
I absolutely did. Because I
Well,
don't
then
know.
can we call that a Tig fact? Because I just pulled that up.
Yeah, that was definitely a Tig.
1835, there was a war.
Oh yeah. Has there ever not been a war?
I know.
What war
Unfortunately.
happened? It was it was a Second Seminole War.
When was the first one?
Something in Texas. Texas Revolution happened.
Oh, was that the Alamo? No.
When Texas was trying to get their independence.
The first attempt of assassination of the U.S. President Andrew Jackson.
Whoa, no
It
way.
failed.
Is this off the top of your head?
No. Fortune facts are called Google.
HelloFresh is the home cooking service that gets farm fresh food and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Plans change, life gets busy. That's why HelloFresh lets you easily customize your delivery from week to week. Tailor everything to your schedule, adjust your delivery dates, skip a week when you're not able to cook at home. With summer in the rearview mirror and busier days ahead, now's the perfect time to save time and money when it comes to your dinner routine.
I am not known for my cooking skills. I'm always busy. I eat out way too much. I really do love HelloFresh because it allows me to eat at home, to make meals. It gives me step-by-step instructions on how to put it together. It tastes so good. It really does change the game for me in eating way better.
For free breakfast for life, go to hellofresh.com/freehandsome. One free breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life just by going to hellofresh.com/freehandsome. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
I'm looking at it too. Okay, Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales Told for Children. That's published.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should get our question then.
Yeah, we got a really exciting questioner.
Yeah, we do.
Today's question asker is an Oscar, Emmy, and Tony-winning actor, producer, writer, and director known for his roles in iconic movies like Big, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, Sleepless in Seattle, Captain Phillips, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and countless more. Tom Hanks is asking today's question.
Oh, man, this is cool. I have to say, I am such a fan of the Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I think we coined the phrase Rom Tom on this
Rom
podcast.
Tom, yes,
Yeah.
we did.
So it's fitting that Tom is appearing for our 50th.
I mean, if you're alive, how are you not a fan of Tom Hanks?
Exactly.
What is your problem? It's
I
like
don't know.
you don't like Dolly Parton? Get
Yeah, I
out of
know,
my
right?
face.
Stop
You don't
harshing my vibe, man.
Yeah, you don't like Tom Hanks?
Get off of my
Scram,
cloud.
clown.
I mean,
Yeah.
just you saying those movies, you're like iconic.
Yes.
I mean, the biggest movies of our lifetime has been from this man.
Yeah.
I know, and they all kind of mean something different to everyone. You watch them at different points in your life, and
And different genres. He's
Did you
all
know
over the place.
that Tom Hanks is actually a distant relative of Abraham Lincoln and Mr. Rogers himself. That is true.
That is true.
I had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's fitting because he played Mr. Rogers.
And next, Abe Lincoln. Nah, I'd like to see it though.
Can I tell you, when I met Tom and Rita, I was at the Stand Up for Cancer, that thing that Katie Couric has all the networks airing the benefit and charity all night at the same time. I was there. I was performing on that particular show, and I was walking into the green room, and Tom and Rita is a cancer survivor, and the two of them were walking into the green room, and just a swarm of people working on the event, and their people, whoever, swarming in with them. And I just kind of scooted by to get into the green room. And then I hear it in Tom Hanks, his voice. He's like, "Rita, there's Tig Notaro." And I was like,
that's cool.
I was so confused that, of course, you don't think Tom Hanks knows who you are.
Of course.
And they're like, "Oh, hi." And they had seen my documentary.
No way.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I spent the entire evening with Tom and Rita becoming totes BFFs. And they were like, "When are you performing at Largo again?" And I was like, I perform at Largo? So I gave him a date, and Tom was like, "Okay, I put it in my calendar. We'll see you then." And I was like, "All right." of course, didn't think they were going to
Yeah.
show up. Sure enough,
No.
Tom and
They
Rita come to the show. They're waiting for me backstage. And I was like, this is
Whoa.
hilarious.
That's awesome.
amazing.
And so, yeah, I've worked with them since then on cancer charities. And,
Yeah.
and it's just been a real delight getting to know both of them.
Damn, I
Man,
love
that's
that.
cool. I
Yeah.
worked with Tom's son, Colin.
Yeah.
He's a gem. And looks just like his dad. It's
Looks
trippy.
exactly. And
like
has that same good vibe that Tom
Yeah.
has.
Good.
Wait, we
positive
haven't heard his
vibes.
question yet.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
We're too busy
Being
kissing
in
his
love.
Yeah.
We're in love with him.
We are.
And his assistant, guess what?
What?
Huge handsome fan.
No.
Nice.
Massive handsome fan.
Love
Love
In fact,
it.
we've sent her merchandise.
that. Really?
Whoa.
Should we hear his question?
Yeah, let's hear
Yes.
his question.
Hey, handsome. It's Tom Hanks. Here's my question. What was the first big time road trip that you or your listeners made by themselves? And I'm talking about a big time road trip. That means at least 2 days on the road and at least one night on the road, spent however it was. It's best if it's what you did by yourself, but it can be with one or two other people. But it's got to be an epic road trip. Tunes, food, miles, car, inclement weather maybe?
He's by his typewriters. I've heard he is a lover of typewriters and writes people notes via typewriters.
That
Indeed.
checks out for me. That feels like a match.
Yeah.
Tom typing away.
Tom.
Man, it's when you see him, it's like seeing an old friend. And then
I know.
that's
I
when you
know.
met him. Were you instantly like very comfortable because you feel like you know him?
Of
'Cause you
course. And I
Yeah.
couldn't believe, and that's what documentaries do, but I couldn't believe how much he knew about me. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I don't know a lot about a lot of people, but I'm very familiar with Tom, and he has that vibe
Yeah.
where you just, you feel like you've known him forever.
Did you say
must be a-
you doing that thing you do? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm talking about?
You know I did. And that works perfectly.
Cause it just doing that thing you do.
I do not know this.
You don't know that song?
No.
It's from that movie.
That thing you
that
do.
thing you do.
Yeah, I felt very instantly familiar
Connected.
and connected to him.
The road trip. We've talked once about a group road trip where I think it was decided I was going to be put on the rack on the roof of the car, and there
Those were early days too.
Those were early days.
Now you can be in the car, Mae. You've worked your way up.
Thank you.
And wait, was he asking our very first road trip or an early road trip?
Maybe most memorable road
Okay.
trip that you did
Yeah.
sort of on by yourself or with one or two others.
I went on a road trip with these friends of mine years ago in Colorado. This guy Mike and his best friend Micah, and
No,
yeah, Mike and Micah.
I don't know why that blew my mind so much, but no way.
But they were total mountain men, and they were rock climbers. They were just, outdoorsy as outdoorsy gets. And we took a road trip out to the Canyonlands in Utah, and here we go back to the Indigo Girls. They have a line in one of their songs, I slept in rainy Canyonlands. And there I was, huge Indigo Girls fan. And I think that's around when that song came out. I think it's from their Nomads, Indian Saints album. But I was in the Canyonlands with Mike and Micah camping, and it was pouring rain. I
Whoa.
was freezing. And I remember Mike telling me, because I wanted to put more socks on, and they were like, you got to take your socks off, because that's actually how you warm up more, is to not have socks on.
Really?
I know. I don't remember if I took them off or not, but I think I was like totally the whiny dead weight on the.
Oh, really?
I mean, I was having a blast. It was so much fun.
This sounds awful to me.
Yeah, same.
But we went bouldering.
Even worse.
It was incredible.
You know how to boulder? You were like climbing stuff?
Not just climbing stuff. It was like when you're in between and you're wedging your body up between the boulders. And I remember sliding down one of the boulders, and I was in blue jeans, and it completely
ripped your new asshole.
like completely wore through my jeans on the backside. But it was such like a out there camping in the rain and bouldering and just eating whatever trail mix and bugs and all that stuff.
I hate outdoorsy stuff.
Well, I'm glad you didn't come with us.
I would have been the dead weight. Like, we got to do this again.
Yeah.
But you guys both drive, and I guess going on the road and stuff by yourself, you're like very used to time in a car by yourself in the open road.
I love driving.
You do, Fortune.
Love
are you good?
it.
Safe driver? Allstate wants to know.
I'm a great driver. Thank you, Allstate. Yeah, I love driving. Love it. I told y'all on here I started driving my grandma's car in the cemetery when I was 12.
Running over tombstones.
I was trying to get behind a car as soon as possible.
I'm almost worried about what will happen when I get my license. If I'll just get on the road and love it too much, I'll never come back.
I can't believe it's been a year now that you started talking about getting your license and you still don't have it.
Got it. I know.
Put that on the list. We gotta get your license.
Before I could afford to fly everywhere, I was like, God, I can't wait to not drive everywhere. Can't wait to fly everywhere. And then once I was able to fly everywhere, I was like, I hate to be, and just controlled by the schedule of the flight.
Yeah.
And I love getting up whenever I want at the hotel, going out and having breakfast and coffee. I love taking a walk around whatever town I'm in. Now I hate that I have to be like, oh my gosh, my flight's at 10 or my flight's at 2 or whatever it is. And
and then
when
I'm touring, I rent a car every time.
Same.
Yeah.
And I usually try to drive between cities.
Me too. If it's within like 6 hours,
Yeah,
I'll drive.
I was about to say 5 or so for me.
Yeah, I prefer it.
Have you done like a real road? It's a very like American thing. I feel like a real road trip. Fortune that like a
my most memorable one. My mom and I drove cross country to move me to LA.
This was when you guys hashed out a lot of stuff.
I had touched on one of the things that happened on that trip, but we drove across country. I had a $250 credit card. I don't know if I mentioned this part. It's all I could get approved for at the time, and it was what was going to get me to LA. My mom was a teacher, so she had no money, and so this $250 credit card was what was going to be our thing to get us in the hotels and to pay for the food and stuff. And did I tell you that the American Idol was happening at the time? And she was obsessed with Clay Aiken. And I had been living in Spain, so I didn't know who is this, what is happening. And it was like the finals were that week, so she put a sign in the car that said "honk if you love Clay."
What?
And I was like,
oh my God.
What is happening? So the whole way people are honking, and I'm like, I haven't even watched the show. I don't know who this guy is.
I thought for sure you were going to say that she just played his music the whole trip.
Oh, I'm sure that happened too.
But
and so we were like going across country, like on a shoestring budget. We get to Vegas. And I had never been to Vegas before, and we had like maybe like $100 cash, and that whatever was left on this credit card. And they opened the slots they're like, oh, for 2 minutes we're gonna loosen the slots and come, everyone come gather around and play the slots, and you can win all this money. And my mom was like, we have to do it. We have to do this. I'm like, well, we only have $100 left. We still have to make it to LA. She's like, we'll just spend 50 of it. So we put $50 in the slots, like, and lose it within like,
Oh my
within
Lord.
like 30 seconds. And I go, and you know, this might as well have been $1,000. Like,
Yeah.
and the guy comes right behind me and hits like, you know, $300, and I'm like, no. And so we have to spread the rest of this money out. So we're like, how are we gonna entertain ourselves tonight? We had luckily already booked a room and paid for that. So my mom and I decided that we are going to go to one of those what do you call it? Presentations for a timeshare.
What?
Yes, because
they give free meals.
They give you free meal.
Oh
They give you
yeah,
a coupon
I've
for
done
free
that.
meal, and they give you tickets to see a show. And we were like, we have no money left to do fun things.
Oh my
So
God.
we go to this timeshare presentation,
That's
and they do the
hilarious.
whole spiel or whatever, and then they do the full court press at the end of like, all right, are you ready to buy a place? And my mom thought it would be hilarious. Now I'm broke. I'm moving to LA, and she goes, I don't have the money to buy anything, but my daughter here does. And I'm looking at her like, what? And so they come to me like, you know, a moth to a flame, like, oh, you want to buy something? I'm like, oh, not, I mean, my checkbook's at the hotel. And they go, oh, we'll provide a full limo to your hotel to get your checkbook. I'm like, yeah, I don't really know. And my mom's like, you've been looking for something, haven't you? And I'm like, shut up.
Oh my God,
She
Ginger.
just keeps making it worse and worse and worse.
Wait, you didn't take the limo ride?
We did no. Well, so then I'm like,
Because then you could be like, I can't find my
I
checkbook.
know. And so this goes on for like 30 minutes where she keeps acting like I would buy this, but I'm not sure that this is what I want for my portfolio.
Wait, what were you dressed like when she was
I mean,
saying?
like t-shirt, jean shorts, and there are all these people surrounding us. And then I think they find I you know, not having boundaries and knowing what to do. I'm like, oh, maybe we'll see. I don't know. I think they finally looked up my name and saw I had no credit.
Oh my God.
And then I go, guy, and then they like all of a sudden someone whispers in the ear, and they just all are like, all right, get out of it. Basically like, get out of here.
Ma'am,
And
you're
Mom was
wasting our
like,
time.
do we still get the buffet and the tickets to the show? And they're like, yeah. And they like, so we go to a buffet and a show, and I just was horrified this whole experience.
But you still have the condo, I guess?
I still have the condo. So I'll never forget that road trip just for that experience alone.
Oh my God.
She's an eccentric.
She's
the
naughty.
Clayton sign
Yeah.
and that. I don't think I've done. This is so shocking, but like I don't think I've done a proper road
Put it
trip,
on the list,
really.
Thomas.
Yeah,
Not
like
even as a passenger? We know you haven't driven.
I mean, yeah, it's the driving part that is like I traveled around Nepal by myself, and that was like the most formative experience. But I don't think I've done like a road. When I was 4 or 3, my parents, they put all our stuff in storage, and we went across Europe. My brother and I in the backseat, and we drove
That's a road trip.
like 6 months. We drove around
Whoa.
because we had no money, and my dad was he had a job reviewing like 4 hotels, so we knew we had like 4 free hotels in Europe. And the big story from that trip was that I became obsessed with this man that we met in Tunisia who was our tour guide, and his name was Fethi. We have all these pictures. Like I wouldn't let go of this man. I was like I was 3 or 4. I'm holding his hand. I'm gripping onto the Fethi. And I don't know what, maybe I knew him in another life or something, but I met him, and apparently it was like hearts just came out of my eyes. I was like, I love Fethi.
I wonder if he's listening.
I hope so. Oh man.
How much would you give to be connected with Fethi again?
I would give $50,000.
Whoa.
I don't know. I'd be so disappointed. He'd be like wildly
He's like,
transphobic.
who
He'd
are
be like,
you?
and who are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you give him the 50 grand or just?
I think I give it to the Lord or something, or
Oh,
to
the
you
Lord
guys.
gets
yeah.
it.
But I really
Back
these
to
To the
pictures.
Catholic Church.
Yeah, I give it. I did. I went on one the most awkward road trip probably was I got engaged, and then my very good friend Sabrina got engaged the following day in the same place. Like we were all, the four of us, on a couple's vacation. So we're both engaged.
Competition, huh?
Yeah.
Let's say
I'll show
she copied
you.
me. She copied me. Yeah. So like a year later, she and her wife are getting married, and me and my fiance have broken up, but we're both still
won.
very close to them. And
Wait, not on the same trip.
no, we didn't break up on the
Okay,
same trip.
okay.
No. Like a year later.
That would be quite a trip.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, it's Sabrina's wedding, and me and my now ex-fiance are kind of in the process of breaking up, but we're still going to their wedding. And it was like we drove together in the car. We knew we were breaking up. We knew we got engaged and celebrated the engagement with this couple. And then I had to host the wedding.
Oh,
And,
wow.
Oh, host
Yeah,
the
and so-
wedding?
Yeah, I was like the MC kind of.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant you had to pay for everything.
Oh, no. Oh my God.
Guys, this is on me.
May's the father.
Yeah. No, it was like, and so I had to make these beautiful speeches about romance and commitment and marriage, and it was so
Like, I'm a fraud.
heartbreaking with me and my ex. But I always remember, because we were on the highway and like stuck in traffic, and she's driving. Also, always annoying that I can't drive. Like, you know what I mean? And then I really had to pee, and we were mid argument, and she's like, "I'm not pulling over," and I was like, "Well, but I have to, because I really have to pee." And she kind of was laughing, and she was like, "I'm not going to. I'm really," and I was like, "Haha," and she was like, "No, I don't think I'm going to pull over." And I was like,
Oh,
"No,
that's
I'm
mean.
gonna."
That is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I was laughing too, but I peed in a cup, like a big plastic cup.
Okay, so you guys were having fun in this moment? I
Yeah,
guess
I was
I'm
like,
please
we're
walk me
laughing
through
or
it. This
pissed?
is
It was like,
I feel like as I've shared recently, I feel like I don't understand certain senses of humor.
Right.
When it's like
it was
that's
a
weird.
It was a fine line, because we were having a tense moment, but
Yeah.
it was like a kind of game of chicken. I was like, "Are you serious right now? You're not." And she was like, "Yeah, I think I'm serious. I'm not going to pull over." It was, now we laugh, but we're friends now still.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to hold this cup of pee
And
for a
how
while.
long did the joke go on?
Well, I mean, to the point that I had to pee in a plastic cup.
Till I pissed my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Till I
what?
pissed my
could-
cup.
I would not be able to get that in the cup.
I
know.
I went to the back seat.
I would have pissed all over myself.
And why
Really?
couldn't you?
I just don't have. It just doesn't work out like that for me. Really, the stream is not streaming.
You've got
It's
a water,
not-
a fire
I got
hose.
a fire hose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know. I sort of thought this was a funny story, and then the reactions now have made me feel like, was that bad? What happened?
I mean,
I think it was pretty funny, but
I wouldn't have found it funny, and I don't think at the time.
I think if I had been like upset, she would have pulled over, but I was kind of. I mean, I deserved.
okay.
it.
I mean, if you
Okay.
were laughing, then you were definitely
Yes.
giving the
Yes.
indication that this is
I
okay.
thought you guys were having a hard time together.
We
and then
were.
she's like, I'm not going to pull over.
Yeah,
and then,
she
And then
was.
you're, okay. Then
I
I,
mean,
don't
all that is-
understand. This is where, again, I don't understand when
I think
things
we-
cross over. Where I'm
I
like,
think we don't understand because May's not sure if they're
I'm not
pissed
sure.
or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The memory is now like, yeah. I mean, also we were late. We were in traffic, but I
Yeah.
did kind of, I deserved it really. But it was, as I'm telling it, I'm like, what happened there? But I think it was, I think it was funny.
There's probably going to be a number of stories in your life where you're like, wait, now that I think about it
There's
through
so
this lens,
many. Yes.
this
yeah.
is not how I remembered it at the time.
Oh, my story about when I hooked up with the masseuse. I tell some people, they're like, "That's hot." Some people are like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, I don't know how to feel.
Well, let's hear old Hanks's answer.
And my answer to that question is 1978. Yeah. Sacramento, California to Lakewood, Ohio took 4 days, all by myself in my Volkswagen Beetle that was packed with all of my worldly possessions and a couple of tapes that I had, of course, mixtapes that I had done myself. I think I can still remember the pattern of the songs in it. The first night I spent sleeping in a gas station of a Husky self-serve in Elko, Nevada. That's where I spent a few hours tossing and turning. Then I made it in 3 more nights. 1979. That was my first solo road trip.
Wait, 78 or 79?
I know. I love.
Well, he said 78, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was over New Year's Eve. Let's imagine.
Yeah.
I wonder why he was going to Ohio.
Yeah. Why
We
was
have
he
a lot of
moving to-
follow-up
feel like
questions.
he's-
Tom.
I think he was.
he's
filming.
Is he
Sleepless
from
in
those
Ohio.
parts?
He's from Sacramento, I thought.
Oh,
Or
really?
I thought he was from Northern California, but
I
Okay.
genuinely.
because normally people are a trip like that, they're going to like, I'm going to New York or LA to pursue my dreams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But he was going to Ohio.
Interesting.
let's
Thomas,
Google-
where is he from?
It says he was born in California.
Oh,
Huh.
okay.
Maybe. I truly. I said just a minute ago. Maybe he was going to film Sleepless in Ohio, and I wasn't joking. I got the name wrong. I truly thought.
Well, you know-
Sleepless in Ohio.
It all comes full circle because my ex's parents
Live in Ohio.
Live in Ohio.
live in Ohio
There
and
you go.
love Tom Hanks.
Love
Here we
Tom
go.
Hanks.
They are Tom Hanks crazed.
This says he's from Concord, California. Wherever
Oh,
that is.
very
Concord.
famous.
Tom.
Maybe he was
Cordmore,
going
like-
to college.
It says
No, he went to college in
participated
California.
in a theater festival in Ohio for 3 years.
Oh, well, there
you
you go. What
go.
part of Ohio?
Cleveland.
Okay.
I love that we're all fact checking this very rigorously. Rigorous.
Tom,
I'm
we
glad-
need to know what you were going to Ohio for.
I'd love to know what songs he was listening to. You know.
Yeah.
I'd like to know if it was in 78 or 79.
We could do a follow up. I can reach out,
Yeah. Yeah.
get to the bottom of this.
Let's get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
He's from around the San Francisco area ish.
That checks out.
Okay.
In the Bay Area, as people like to call it.
Is that what they say?
Bay Area.
Well, that sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
No, Arnold would be like the Bay Area.
Yeah, not
Oh
too
my-
far off.
You guys know I am known for my accents.
Yeah.
I just got like vicariously starstruck just because I remembered the fact that you're frequently seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger in your day.
I see
Like
him
you're-
every day.
You're filming with him every day. It's all good morning,
Every day,
fortune.
Fortune, what
That
are you
was-
doing?
that was good, May.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like my impersonation of a comedian doing an impersonation. Like his normal voice isn't that crazy, right?
And wait, where is
No, it's his
Arnold's
normal
question?
voice is very thick. Oh, he's gonna do one. I just need to film him doing it.
Okay. All right.
But
Oh
that
my
doesn't
God.
remind. I mean, I still have 2 months left. But
Mhm.
also, I think we're gonna be joining Arnold unless things change at Oktoberfest in Germany.
No.
Nice.
Was that because you're filming in Prague? You're
We're
gonna
filming
go...
in Prague, and so we're all gonna stay a week longer to join
What?
him at
He's
Oktoberfest.
Austrian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
Austrian, but is he goes Oktoberfest every year. He has a room that they keep just for him
Oh my God.
every year for Oktoberfest.
I'm gonna go with
He's-
Tom Hanks to the Ohio Fringe Theater Festival.
That's right.
I'm gonna go bouldering by myself.
But I'm not. But I'm pumped to go. But I don't drink beer and I don't like sausages.
Yeah, actually, me too. I'm-
Fortune.
I know. So I gotta find other things to. I will eat some Wiener Schnitzel.
yeah.
But I am not into the. That's mainly what people do is drink beer and eat the sausages.
Where is it taking place again?
Munich.
Oh, in Munich. Oh, there'll be tons of stuff to do.
I am gonna buy a lederhosen.
Oh my God. I didn't know until this moment how badly I need to see you in lederhosen.
I'm gonna wear the boy one though, not the
Yes,
girl one.
Of course, of course.
What if I showed up in that frilly skirt?
I'm just, I
What
want
a
to.
pretty little
and
lady.
pigtails.
I mean, you love the sound of music, so I'm just picturing you dressed up. being
I
like,
know. I could
Yeah.
sing all of those songs in a lederhosen.
oh my God.
Well,
please.
we've got time.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a real treat. But yeah, I'll have him ask a question.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well,
Every episode, we're like, well, this has been fun.
Oh, God.
Well, we do need to mention our live show in Toronto, which is sold out. We have 2 shows that are sold out. One, we have a live streaming option for people that can't make it to the show. That's August 24th. And
if you go to social media, go to our social media page, you can buy your ticket and you can watch it for up to a week.
And it's going to be a real handsome reunion. Okay. And we might renew our vows as handsome hosts.
Dearly beloved, we're going to have that Prince
Not
song
even
play.
renew. For the very first time, I will officiate our union as co-hosts of the Handsome Pod. There.
Should we all surprise each other with something prepared? Is that more
speech?
Not to give you homework or anything, but I don't know.
I love homework.
Do you?
Love it.
Yeah, famously absolutely excelled in school.
Yes.
Let's borrow Tom Hanks's typewriter.
Yeah,
and write vows
clickety
out.
clack, clickety clack. Yeah, we
Dear
should each
handsome.
write vows.
That's a good idea. Okay, I'm up for that.
I promise to, and whatever it is.
Well, yeah.
Well said, Fortune.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the only thing I've got to promote is I'm pinning all my hopes on that one show.
I have one last show left of my entire tour. Comes to an end this Saturday after a year and a half of touring this tour, the Live, Laugh, Love tour. If you live in Charlestown, West Virginia,
which
come
I
to
do,
the Hollywood Casino this Saturday night. And you'll see my last show and then I'm putting this act to bed and you'll see my special sometime in the fall.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I will have shows around the Toronto area from time to time at, I have one at Comedy Bar. And
I know it well. I know it well.
Yeah. And then when I'm in LA, I'll be doing shows at Largo and Dynasty Typewriter. Check tignotaro.com. for all show information. I also have some random one-off shows in different cities, but I'm mainly going to be filming and working on new material and hosting this podcast with my co-hosts. But also check out my special Hello Again. And then also check out the movie Stephanie and I directed called Am I Okay? Starring Dakota Johnson, and you will see me in a wig. And until next time,
keep it handsome.
Keep it handsome. Happy 50 episode.
Thanks, Tom Hanks.
Home insurance is complicated. You want the best insurance for the best price. Allstate can help. They're dedicated to make signing up for a new policy or switching from an old one as quick and easy as possible.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.